before I start, I just want to remind everyone that the 1976 Copyright Act entitles educational or fair use, under terms of fair use of educational purposes, that is nonprofit. I don't even know if this is copyrighted material or not. I found this on the internet. But it's a good problem that shows how to do, I guess, a less than linear or less than straightforward 3-point mapping problem. So I've written out some steps here that I feel like is really important to do. The first step is to rearrange your data in order of largest to smallest. So that's what I did, and I went ahead and wrote the genotypes of each trait over here on the right. The second step you want to do is to find the parentals and then the double crossovers. So the parentals is always going to be the one that's the largest in your population. So this is my parentals, and then the smallest, because it's results from a double crossover, is always in the double crossover. So that right down there is my double crossover. The next step is to find the gene that's in the middle. And the way that you do that is you look at your parentals with regards to genes, but you look at them in groups of pairs. So for example, I'm going to look at this just with regards to A and B. So A and B, I have a big A and I have a big B. I have a little a and I have a little b. And then I go up here. Well, big A, big B, that's not a parental. Little a, little b, that's not a parental. What about big B, little c? Well, yeah, that's a parental. What about little b, little c? Well, yes, that's parental. So I'm willing to bet that A is the gene in the middle. But I double check myself with something called the brute force method, and that's where I physically draw the actual crossing over taking place on the chromosomes. So I'm just going to draw myself 2 chromosomes here, and on those chromosomes I have A in the middle. So I'm just going to put big A here, little b, big C, that's him, and down here I'm going to put little a here, big B, little c. And it doesn't really matter the directionality that you're going with. Chromosomes are not letters. You can flip them around and it still makes sense. So the next thing I'm going to do is draw the crossovers. So that's my first crossover, and it's a double crossover. And then I'm just going to basically follow along. So I have little b, little a, big C, little b, little a, and big C. Over here I have big B, big A, little c, big B, big A, little c. So I've done this right. I now know my gene order. The next thing I want to do is try to figure out the distances between the two. That's what I mean, distances between. And I'm going to start off with the largest population and kind of go from there. So this right here, is this, well, let's think of all of the possible distances that we could get from this. This could be A and B, this distance here. Well, I look at my data and I see that there's a big A, and a little b, and then a little a and a big B. And this matches the parental. So this right here did not result from a crossover between B and A. Now let's check out A and C. So my parental with regards to that is big A and big C and little a and little c. But down here I have little a and big C, and then I have big A and little c. So I'm willing to wager, at least to some extent, that this is the distance between A and C is from those two values there. So whenever I'm calculating map distance, and I'm just going to go ahead and write it down here because it's getting kind of messy with all that extra spinach there, and the distance between A and C, well, how do I calculate map distance? I add up all the recombinants and then divide that by the total. So in this context, I'm going to add up 71, or basically add up all the times when crossing over happened between these two genes. So 71, 63, and then 2 and 4 from the crossing over. So plus 2 plus 4. I don't know how well you can see that, but when I punch all that information into my calculator, I can see 71 plus 63 plus 2 plus 4. I get 140 as my answer. So that equals 140, and I need to divide that by my total, which was 1,000. And so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of show how I got my answer. And oh, I don't like Christmas colors. Blue, yeah. So that adds up to being 0.14 as my answer. I could say 0.140 maybe if I chose to. So once you do that, though, remember, and I made another video explaining this, to calculate that in map distance or in centimorgans, you have to multiply that by 100. So I know that the distance is, well, 0.14 times 100, dude. This is now 14 map units apart, and I'll go ahead and circle that in green. So the distance from A to C was 14. Well, just by process of elimination, I know that the next one is between B and A, but I want to make sure that I've done this right, so I'm going to go ahead and just follow along with my data, looking at it. So B and A, so the parental is big A, little b, the parental is little a and big B. And then I go down here, well, this is a big A and a big B. This is a little a and a little b. So crossing over could have happened between the B and the A. And I know that it only happens there because if I had crossing over here, just with regards to this right here, I would get big B, big A, and big C. So this right here, I'm going to use this to help me calculate the distances between B and A. And just like over here, I'm going to add up all the times when crossing over has occurred on my chromosome between these two genes. Well, that is 46 plus 38 plus 2 plus 4. And then whatever that is, I'm going to divide that by the total of 1,000. So let's put that in our calculator. 46 plus 38 plus 2 plus 4. That should give you 90, and then I divide that by 1,000, and I get 0.09 as my answer. I'm just going to put this over here. I get 0.09, and I'm going to times that by 100, and that's going to give me, times it by 100. It gives me and I'll put it in a different color, gives me 9 map units, which is 9 map units over there. So I have now successfully mapped out my chromosome, and I have over here, what is the order of and map distance between the two genes? Well, I know that A is in the middle, so it can't be that. I know that A is in the middle, so it can't be that. I got from B to A, I have 9, and then from A to C, I have 14. So my answer is B. And I'll make another video of talking about interference.